The road less travelled, the life of a lady truck driver. When the sun first crests the horizon, a dusting of light spreads across the endless highway. The hum of tyres on asphalt is the only sound breaking the morning stillness. Inside her cab, Emma adjusts her rearview mirror, watching the sky glow. The world feels expansive, untamed, and boundless, much like the journey she's about to undertake. For Emma, this is just another day on the road, the life she's chosen, one that many would not expect from a woman, much less a lady truck driver. Emma grew up in a small town, surrounded by farmers, factory workers, and those tied to the land. She was always the adventurous type, preferring the company of machines over dolls or makeup. Her father was a mechanic, and from an early age, Emma was in his workshop, watching him fix engines, welding metal, and restoring old cars to life. It was there she learned to love machines, to understand their rhythm and hum, and to appreciate the artistry in their repair. But her interest went beyond fixing cars. Emma wanted to be on the road, behind the wheel of a truck, feeling the rumble of the engine beneath her hands. As a teenager, her friends would talk about the future, about office jobs, families, and the usual roles expected of young women. But Emma's dream was different. She dreamed of the open road, the wind in her hair, and the freedom of miles upon miles of highway. However, it wasn't an easy dream to pursue. Growing up, truck driving was seen as a man's profession. She heard the whispers, the skepticism from some of the men in town. "Girls don't drive trucks," they'd say. "It's too tough, it's too lonely, you'll never make it." But Emma's resolve only grew stronger. She wasn't deterred by the judgment or the doubts others had about her. After high school, she enrolled in a trucking school, where she learned the ins and outs of the industry, the logistics, the vehicle mechanics, and the regulations. There she met fellow trainees, many of them men, who were just as eager to take on the open road. The early days were tough, filled with long hours and steep learning curves. Emma had to prove herself again and again, showing that she could handle the responsibility of hauling freight safely and efficiently. Her first solo trip was the real test. She picked up a shipment in her truck, a gleaming 18-wheeler that seemed much larger than she had imagined. As she pulled out of the depot and onto the freeway, her heart raced. The truck swayed slightly with the wind, and Emma could feel the weight of the cargo in her hands. But as she settled into the rhythm of the road, something clicked. She felt at home, as though the truck was an extension of herself, and the highway was where she belonged. At first, the road felt daunting. The other truckers were mostly men, and many weren't used to having a woman in their midst. There were stares, there were jokes, and sometimes even condescension. But Emma refused to let it affect her. She knew her job and did it with precision. Slowly, she earned respect. When fellow drivers saw her handling tricky turns, navigating difficult weather, and unloading with ease, they began to treat her like any other driver. By the time she completed her first year, Emma had established herself as one of the best. Years passed, and Emma's reputation grew. She was known for her reliability, her strong work ethic, and her calm demeanor in the face of challenges. The road was often a lonely place, long stretches without human contact, empty diners, and late-night stops in trucker rest areas. But Emma found comfort in the solitude. She would listen to podcasts, audiobooks, or simply reflect on life as she drove. The road became her sanctuary, a place where she could think freely without distractions or judgments. Despite the loneliness, there were also moments of connection. She would meet other truckers at stops, some of whom had been on the road for decades, swapping stories of their journeys. Emma learned about the places they'd been, the people they'd met, and the experiences they'd gained. She'd also call her family during breaks, sharing her adventures and updates. Her father especially was proud of her, though he never quite understood the lure of the long road. But he respected Emma's determination. Then there was the surprise of meeting Lisa, a fellow female trucker she encountered during a long haul across state lines. They were both hauling freight from opposite directions and decided to stop at the same truck stop to refuel. The two instantly hit it off. Lisa had been driving for years, and like Emma, she had faced her own set of challenges as a woman in a male-dominated profession. The two shared stories, laughed, and spoke candidly about the highs and lows of their jobs. It was a reminder to Emma that she wasn't alone, that there were others like her carving their own paths. But being a lady truck driver still came with its share of